Germany's three candidates to replace Angela Merkel as Chancellor have clashed in their second TV debate. Frontrunner Olaf Scholz of the Social Democrats was hoping to extend his lead in the polls as he faced a grilling from his conservative rival Armin Laschet. Third-place candidate Annalena Baerbock of the Greens tried to make up lost ground. Voters in Germany go to the polls to choose a new parliament on September 26th. Let's check in on those snap polls now that were taken just after the debate. Around 20% of respondents said here that Conservative candidate Armin Laschet performed best in the debate. Meanwhile, over 30% said Scholz was actually the most convincing, making him the winner among the three. The Greens candidate Annalena Baerbock performed only marginally better than her Conservative rival Armin Laschet, but that put Angela Merkel's party at the losing end of this TV debate. That being said, 21% think that all of the candidates performed equally well in this debate. And we have our political correspondent Hans Brandt with us to put this all into context for us. You watched the debate, so who do you think came out on top here?
One has to say that in the end it was Olaf Scholz who did best in this, but one has to add that what Annalena Baerbock, the Green candidate, did was also quite impressive. She is not under the same sort of pressure as the other two because it's clear that she's not going to be the winner in this election. She's not going to be Chancellor, so she has a lot more room to maneuver, and she came across a lot fresher, a lot more decisive in her answers. So I think while Olaf Scholz was certainly the convincing candidate for the majority of the viewers, I think Annalena Baerbock did very well as well.
What about Angela Merkel's party, the CDU? Their candidate, Armin Laschet, he really needed to get a boost in this debate. Did he get that?
What he's done in recent days is he's become a lot more aggressive, and there were quite a number of scenes in this debate where he especially attacked the Social Democrat Olaf Scholz. There were some quite harsh exchanges between the two of them. But for Armin Laschet, this comes across as a little bit artificial. He's actually a very nice guy. And where he started his campaign a couple of months ago on the basis of being a nice guy, of not provoking any of the other candidates, of simply waiting and seeing. And that has turned out to be the wrong strategy. So now he's trying to put up this fight. And he's doing that according to a kind of script. But it comes across a little bit artificial.
What were the biggest issues that they discussed in this debate?
It was a very domestically focused debate. There were issues such as pensions, healthcare, housing, industrial policy, that sort of thing. For foreign viewers, there wasn't really much in it. There was some debate about Germany's role in NATO that has to do with the Socialist Left Party, which criticizes NATO very strongly and might be a possible coalition partner for the Social Democrats. There was also some mention for the need for foreign workers, foreign employees to come into Germany, experts in various fields, because Germany really does need them. I think all candidates agreed that that is the case.
You mentioned that it's becoming pretty clear that the Greens candidate, Annalena Baerbock, that she's likely not going to be Chancellor. But what are the chances for the Greens to do well in this election?
Oh, they're definitely going to do well. They're not going to come out as the strongest party, which seemed possible a couple of months ago. But they're still going to probably double the amount of votes that they had during the last election 4 years ago. And that makes them a very strong contender for any government that is going to be formed. It's very likely that the Greens will be part of the next government. So their position is a very strong one. And the fact that they are so strong on the climate issues, on the climate policy, will mean, I think, that will play a major role in whatever government we're going to get after this election.
The question is which government that will be. I know there are a lot of coalition possibilities, but if you just give us an overview, what looks most likely at the moment?
Well, this is what's very new in German politics. There's basically three major parties that are almost at a similar level, the ones that were participating in this debate. But there are 2 or 3 other smaller parties that could also be part of a coalition, probably unnecessary for a coalition. The Free Democrats, the business-friendly party, and the Socialist Left Party that I mentioned amongst them. So the permutations are really complicated, and it's going to be very important who's going to be the strongest candidate, because the person whose party wins the most votes can take the initiative in forming a coalition. So if the Social Democrats do that, there's going to be a very different way of seeing new government than if the Conservatives were to win.
Our political correspondent, Hans Brandt. Thanks for your analysis.